Learning objectives for Module 3. By the end of this module, you will be able to differentiate between perceived and felt emotions in the context of music listening, critically evaluate major theoretical models, explaining how music evokes emotions, describe the neural and physiological processes involved in music-induced emotional responses, analyze how musical performance techniques convey emotional expression, discuss the role of music in emotional regulation and therapeutic contexts, identify how individual differences modulate emotional experiences with music, recognize ethical challenges in researching and applying music-emotion relationships. Emotional responses to music. Module 3 explores the intricate relationship between music and human emotion, investigating how music evokes, modulates, and communicates a wide spectrum of emotional states. This module critically examines the psychological, physiological, and neurological mechanisms underlying emotional responses to music, drawing from contemporary theoretical models, empirical studies, and cross-disciplinary insights. Emotions elicited by music can range from joy and excitement to sadness and nostalgia, and these responses are often deeply personal, yet widely shared across cultures. This module unpacks how music interacts with the brain's emotional circuits, how listeners cognitively appraise musical stimuli, and how music can serve as both a tool for emotional regulation and a form of expressive communication. You will analyze diverse theories explaining musical emotions, such as the arousal mood hypothesis, the cognitive appraisal model, and the contagion theory. Additionally, the module covers psychophysiological indicators of emotional states in response to music, like heart rate variability, galvanic skin response, and facial electromyography, and their relevance in research and applied contexts, such as music therapy. The module also addresses how individual differences, including personality traits, cultural background, and musical expertise, influence emotional reactions to music. Ethical considerations and challenges in measuring and interpreting emotional responses to music are highlighted throughout. Detailed content breakdown. 1. The nature of musical emotions, defining emotions in the context of music. Distinction between perceived emotion, what the music expresses, and felt emotion, listeners experience. Basic versus complex emotions evoked by music. The role of expectancy, memory, and personal meaning in emotional response. 2. Theoretical frameworks of musical emotion. Arousal mood hypothesis, how music influences physiological arousal and mood states. Cognitive appraisal theories. Interpretation of music's emotional meaning by listeners. Emotional contagion theory, mimicking and internalizing emotional expression of music. The Brick-Vema framework, brainstem reflex, rhythmic entrainment, evaluative conditioning, etc. Dimensional models, valence, arousal, and their application in music, emotion research. 3. Neural and physiological correlates, brain structures involved, amygdala, prefrontal cortex, nucleus accumbens, insula, neurotransmitters and hormones, dopamine, serotonin, cortisol, and their roles in music-induced emotions, psychophysiological measures, heart rate, skin conductance, respiration, facial muscle activity, neuroimaging studies of emotional processing in music listening and performance 4, emotional expression in music performance, how performers convey emotion through dynamics, tempo, articulation, and phrasing, listener interpretation and emotional resonance with performance nuances, expressive timing and micro-timing variations, interaction between a performer intention and audience reception. 5. Music as a tool for emotional regulation, uses of music for mood enhancement, catharsis, relaxation, and stress reduction. Music. In coping with grief, trauma, and psychological disorders, the role of music in social bonding and emotional empathy, clinical applications in music therapy for emotional well-being. 6. Individual differences in emotional response, personality traits, and their influence on music-induced emotions, e.g., openness, neuroticism. Cultural influences on emotional expression and recognition in music. Musical training and sensitivity to emotional nuances. Age, gender, and developmental factors affecting emotional engagement. 7. Challenges and ethical considerations. Measuring subjective emotional experience objectively. Ethical issues in using music to manipulate emotions. Cultural sensitivity in interpreting emotional responses. Limitations and future directions in research.